Going, and we're live.
Are we live?
We are live. So I just want to go back to bed.
I know, really. It's been, I don't know. I don't know how it's been. You know what it is? It's like, it's really nice outside. It's finally feeling like spring. The trees are like going, oh, it's warm. Poof. It's like, it's all showing
Pollen.
I mean, it's just, it makes me restless, but at the same time, I just want to go back to bed.
Dude, it's 11 a.m. on Monday morning, and it's already been one hell of a week.
It really has been. It's like, what a week, huh? It's like, it's only Monday. We just started it. Calm down.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. It is March 27th, 2023. And you are watching the Rage Into the Vlogs. Or actually, right now, it looks like you're all watching Brian K. Morris.
Yeah, I know, really.
Well, that's you guys in a little bit. You want me to play this intro?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Hit it.
Oh, hello there. You just caught me in the middle of making a drink. While I'm doing that, here's a disembodied voice that'll talk to you about what this commercial is about.
Shots with Comics is a comic show on the Indie Comics network after dark. Join some drunk people as they talk about what's going on in the comic world, what comics they are reading, and of course, all cohole. Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Comics Network after dark. We will offend, anger, and make you uncomfortable. Join us, unless you are a what?
That music.
Yeah, it all came together. It all came together.
Didn't Sibby grab my booster seat?
Oh, well, I had to grab. Well, I'm on my booster seat today. So. Also, morning, I saw Daphne. You take good morning. I saw you take your aspirin. So I was like, oh wait, I forgot my waters. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So good morning, Nita. Good morning, everybody who is not watching Brian K. Morris right now. So who's joining us in the chat today?
So far, it's Frayne and John
Hello.
Celestri and
Hello,
some
good
mystery
morning.
folks.
Yes, I see you, the 5 people watching us from regions beyond, next to the giant eyeball on my screen. And yes, if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Oh, hey Jay, join our sexy people in the chat. Help keep them company this beautiful Monday morning. I have to say, like I said, it's like
Beautiful
this
there.
weather, it really, over here, it's very nice. Like I said, it's making me restless and sleepy at the same time. Oh my goodness. So hold on, let me just kind of like get my bearings here right now. Like I said, there was a lot going on these last couple of days, but before we get into anything, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, and currently my medieval fantasy soap opera drama Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, on Kickstarter right now. And I want to thank the 90 backers who have joined us since Friday, when we launched the campaign, raising $2,556 on the campaign with 25 days to go. Not only did we meet goal, but we did unlock the first stretch goal of the campaign. So let's keep it moving. All the links are in the show notes below. You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS. online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can check out all my videos on how we make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about that, here's Nita.
So my name is Nita Lanning, and I am the producer of Indie Comics Network, which hosts a whole bunch of indie comics related shows for your entertainment and education.
Right, exactly. Yes. And I want to thank everybody who joined us on Friday for a most unusual episode of House of Bob. Thank you so much. I mean, we kind of got what happened? Saturday? Was it Saturday? Saturday. What did I say?
Friday.
Oh, I did Friday. Okay. No.
Okay.
We launched the campaign on Friday. House of Bob was on Saturday. Look, it's Monday. I'm lucky I remember it's Monday. We had a very interesting talk with Jake Twister. We were talking more about the darker side of the art that we love, and and it's like, what happens when artwork makes us uncomfortable, and and I think that that's just as much a valid conversation to have, on top of what it's like, oh, this is the work we enjoy. Well, what happens when it doesn't? We still kind of enjoy it at the same time. It gets a little weird. So so we had a weird episode on Saturday. So if you missed House of Bob, please go over to the playlist, because now it's like we have everything over on the main channel again. So you can literally find everything at Indie Comics Network.
It.com. Got
So you can find everything on one place. Like I said, we're fixing, it's like we're always fixing things up to make it easier for everybody to find our stuff and to enjoy our stuff. And what we're finding is that separating the two different types of content wasn't right. No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. But we will definitely do it again. Definitely. So we, that splitting the two channels up wasn't probably the best idea, but we would have never have known if we didn't try it. So now we're bringing everything back. The Indie Comics, the After Dark channel is just going to be more of a playlist. So we're keeping it there. But if you want to find all our stuff, we're making it easy for you. It's all here in one place. And like I said, if you missed the last episode of House of Bob, just check out the playlist that we have for that. Thank you very much. Also, just a quick reminder, even though House of Bob is an adults only stream, we really do require a certain decorum from the audience that is watching us, especially if you're going to join us in the chat. YouTube is very strict as to what can happen and what can be said on both what we are saying and in the chat. And
in fact,
new people,
chat flagging seems to be the number one catch. Like, comments that could insinuate any type of perversion or essentially anything that could be considered
that you're
insinuating that it's masturbation material,
right? Because it's like what we're trying to do is present this material as a valid art form that can be discussed in an educational manner, and we need everyone. If you want to continue seeing these shows, we need everyone to treat it that way. Even
so don't tell us what to do with it in the bathroom.
Right, exactly. It's like, even though like either what we're talking about or either what I'm drawing on the screen, yes, it can be, kind of, raunchy or whatnot, but like I said, we are treating this as the artwork that it is. And because this type of artwork is very easily dismissed, and we're trying to change that. It's like, or at least just change it in our corner of whatever this is. So just a reminder, if you're new to House of Bob, we need that decorum in order to continue doing the shows, or else YouTube will make that decision for us. So, which we do not want. So just a reminder, for next time, it's like we had a couple of close calls on this last show. So it's like, if you want to engage with us, but do not want to get banned for it, be better. That's all I can say. We'll it's like, right. So today we do have a guest coming in later on at the half hour mark. We have Isaac Fox returning with his talking about his campaign
Pure Intent and Mistress Izumi's adult lessons.
Yes. So we're not sure if we're going to go adults only at the half hour mark. Do you think? I mean, I don't think so. We've had Isaac
before, but we told him we'd let him. You know what? We need him on a House of Bob.
That's true. So then that way he can show us artwork.
Show us all his artwork.
Because I mean, this man, he worked with so many amazing artists.
Oh, and absolutely.
It's a shame actually to only be able to show censored versions of it. So yes, we're definitely going to have to do a special. Maybe we're going to have to talk to Izumi about that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well, we'll talk to him, later anyway. So a couple of things, I guess, that kind of, like I said, it's like a lot usually happens, a lot's been happening. And even this morning, right out the gate, something was happening. If you are an artist, if you are a creator working with publishers, please, that's all we can say, is please know who you are working with. We've got,
even if you know who you're working with,
right? Exactly.
There are formalities that need to take place.
Right. It's like, look, we're not going to mention names because that's not our style. But the thing is, though, is that we had to ban another person from our promotions page. What it is that we found out that way too many artists were claiming that this person has not paid them for their work for about 4 years already. And not only that, but the campaigns that they're running, they're not even fulfilling. And, and it's just like, what? This is not the type of person we want promoting
No,
any,
absolutely
in our
not.
groups, or trying to solicit, work from, or whatnot. It's like, it's like, I think that, it's like, it's like, as someone who's running a Kickstarter themselves, me, JD's running, it's like all our friends are running Kickstarters. And I really do think that as a group, we really do try to like do these crowdfunders, in a way that benefits everybody. Where it's like we fulfill very quickly, like I said, the whole thing about not doing a campaign until the work is done, and then fulfilling very soon after the campaign ends. You
Right.
kind of like, the whole thing is that you get paid 2 weeks after Kickstarter, and especially for me, like a week after that, I want to start sending out books. Of course, it depends on the printer and whatnot, and how quickly they get stuff to me. And, and I want, and I would like to think that I am building a reputation that people can trust. I mean, it's like, even when I'm hiring, with the few times I have hired artists, I've always paid the second,
Yep.
it's like,
I can vouch
and
for that.
even then, it's like, I had wanted C to do some work for me, and I actually had to put it on pause because something
And he would have done
happened.
it for you.
Because I didn't want him to work on anything without me being able to give him money for it. So that was like important for me. So it's like, I told him, it's like, look, let's it's like, look, I still want you to do it, but don't wait for me if that's the case. I want to have the money first. When I have the money to actually put down like a third of what the project is going to cost, then we'll talk again. It'll probably be soon, after this campaign is over. And the same thing with JD. He pays all his artists, even if he's just testing out somebody. I mean, it's like, it's been a rough week for him because he paid a whole bunch of artists to do all this artwork for him as a test, and he's gotten nothing. He's having a hard time with it. He's having a hard time. So, but the thing is, though, is that he wouldn't know unless he paid. So it's, and the thing is, and that's the thing too. There's some people who say, like, oh, if I'm just testing an artist, I don't believe in paying them. Then to me, you're wasting that artist's time.
Yes.
I think that as an artist, you should be paid whether you're being tested or not. If they're saying, I want to test you to see if, it's like, what, consider it a mini commission and pay accordingly.
Yes.
I mean,
but here's the deal. They see these guys with established reputations.
Mm-hmm.
This is not this is a small press publisher, but it is not among the smallest of the small press publishers. Dude has an established reputation for multiple fucking campaigns that have made a decent amount of money, which tells me there's no fucking excuse for these artists not to have been paid. And this debt is going back years, and he has been robbing from Peter to pay Paul and has never been able to catch up, and this debt is accumulating and accumulating. There is one particular group of people right now, just one set of people that he owes $10,000 fucking dollars to. That's the minimum. That's not including and when I have hearsay come in, because there's a lot of backstabbing and backbiting amongst the community. We all know that there are more good people, but the few fucking noisy ones are there, and they're obnoxious and whatever. I'm not going to go block somebody or remove somebody from the group because one person had an issue about them. This is repeated offenses. And the artists that are coming to me and now telling me about this are well-known, trusted people who put out the fucking work.
Right.
Like it's fucking sick. Artists, you guys need to stop being so damn trusting. Nobody's next IP is going to make you the fucking millionaire. Their unknown IP, I think, is what William Russell said earlier. Oh,
and remember,
IP's going to make me famous. It's like, no, the fuck it's not. You get your fucking deposit. You do the fucking work. You give them a low-res copy of your final fucking work. When you receive your final payment, only then do you release your covers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Only then.
yeah, it's unfortunately, it's like, yes, it's like, not all
Because
publishers
I
or
love you
whatever.
guys, but kind of like some of y'all getting fucked over, that's your bad.
Right.
It's
That's
it's time
yeah,
to treat this like
that's
a job.
yeah. I mean, oh, speaking of treating this like a job, yeah, I just really when we started the campaign on Friday, I realized that Monday, that today, I actually have to start on working on the book, getting it ready for the next campaign. I already have to start on. So the next campaign after this Eager Raven one is a Tall Tales book, and I have to start working on it today. And it was just like I was, telling Jose, it's like, oh wow, it turned into a job. It's like I have all my books on kind of an unofficial schedule for the rest of the year, and
Right.
I have everything pretty much paced out so that as the previous campaign is running, I'm working on the book for the next campaign, so that by the time this campaign is over, this book will be ready. It's kind of something I'm experimenting with because last year I was trying way too much and freaking myself out, and I knew that I couldn't function that way. And I had to figure out a schedule. Okay, this is not a schedule that is as fast as I had wanted to do it, but the problem is that I don't think I can do this stuff any faster. I'm just one person, so I really have to put myself on a very regimented schedule in order to make this work. Because as this year goes on, um, each book is going to require more and more work because my backlog is disappearing, and it's going to come to a point where it's like, holy shit, can I get
All new Lage.
yeah, it's like, am I going to be able to get a brand new book done in the time between campaigns? Without really fucking up how the book looks and sacrificing quality or anything
I
like
have faith in you, Daphne. I've seen you
You
work.
know?
I've seen your work ethic. I know what you
You
can
know?
do.
So it's just, now the trick is to actually do it without freaking myself out again.
I got you. Breathe,
Because it's
Lage.
like, yeah, I know. No. It's like I said, I have myself on a good schedule with this. I'm very confident that I can get this Tall Tales book done, because only because it requires a little bit more work than I thought it was going to. I need, like, this week, I need to clean up the inks on all the pages. It's flatted, so I don't have to worry about that. And then once the inks are cleaned up, I can just start shading and then I can do the color correction, and then JD has to go through the entire story and re-edit the entire thing. So then when I get that back, I have to re-letter everything. Lettering is not that big of a deal for me. Like I said, it's actually the more pleasurable part of the process, because it kind of like signifies the end, kind of like the very end of what I'm doing. So that's not really that.
It's the climax for you.
It really is. Yeah. Once I hit the lettering, it's like I'm almost done. So so I have this issue on a very, very kind of not strict schedule, in terms of now it's all up to me to sit down and actually do the work to do it. Just like with any artist out there, it's very easy for us to kind of get a little cocky as to what we're able to accomplish. Oh, I did this much today, I'll catch up tomorrow. And then before you know it, everything piles up. And then you're freaking out at the end of the week because you're supposed to have a lot more done. So it's very easy. Yeah, unfortunately, not this year. What happened was that we had wanted to go to MegaCon, but they had made it a lot earlier than we were anticipating. Because it's like, before they used to hold it in May, either late April or May. Yeah, it's very nice. But now it's like they're holding it at the end, like literally this weekend, and it's just like, oh, that's way too soon.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, it's like with a lot with everything that's going on right now, I don't think we could have really done it properly anyway. So yeah, so hopefully this is something that MegaCon Orlando is something that we could do next year, hopefully. But you know, it's kind of like we're literally, we cannot plan. Like, I could plan this far ahead when it comes to Kickstarters, but when it comes to like stuff like that, right now I am completely incapable of looking that far ahead. Like,
Right.
because it's like there's, like I said, there's a lot going on the side, and it's just like, oh, I don't know. I really don't know how we can you know, schedule everything, you know, other than, like I said, just the Kickstarter. Like, my brain is just Kickstarter, finishing books. Kickstarter, finishing books. That's all my brain
As it
is.
should be, because
that's-
you are a
yeah.
fucking amazing artist who
You know,
does the work.
it's, you know, because in the end, that's all I got. All I got's the work. You know, I mean, it's like, I can't fake what I do. Although, honestly, a lot of people do try to fake what they do. I mean, I saw the stupidest shit on Twitter this morning where I guess one of these AI jockeys faked a photo of him actually painting his AI garbage.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's the
boy. Look at them
stupidest
getting all
shit.
sneaky and shit.
It's the stupidest shit, because it's like, you know, the hands are all fucked. His own hands. He scanned in his own picture, and the stupid shit couldn't get it right. And it was just the stupidest thing. And it was just like, look at these prompt jockeys. It's like they're so desperate to be artists without the work. They're even faking themselves being artistic. And it's like, bro, you're pathetic. It was the most pathetic thing, because I thought the whole point about this was that they were supposed to be, oh, AI is supposed to democratize. Yeah, like, because art needed to be democratized. It's like, you know, not healthcare, not housing, not universal. No, it was art that needed to be democratized. You know, it's like, you know, but he still wants people to respect him like one. And it's like, bro, this makes you look
get the
even
fuck
more
out of here with your bullshit.
to the AI minds.
To the AI minds with
to
your
the
fucking
AI
ass.
minds with you. You know, and it was just like, and there was like this video that popped up in my feed about how art schools are going to have a really big problem with AI portfolios. And yeah, I know, really. And that was even, I was like going, wait a minute. I thought the whole point of this was that you guys didn't have to do the work. What the fuck are you going to be doing in art school with an AI portfolio? You're not doing anything. You know, I mean, it's like these people are ridiculous, and it's like, and it's like, I have to go with somebody who said, it's like, the more AI garbage comes out, the more this AI garbage discourse comes out, the more determined they are to do more physical, really self-indulgent artwork, you know, by hand. You know, the more it's like, and I go, you know what? That's true. The more this shit comes out, the more it's like, I have to do this by hand. I have to feel the pencil on the paper. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, I have to, like, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's like AI is inspiring us in the way they did not intend. It's like, you know what? It's like, I refuse to be afraid of this shit. You know, it's like, you know what? It's like, we're coming for you. You know, all you little prompt jockeys, we're coming for you harder than you guys can ever imagine. You know, because in the end, you cannot be what you think we have. You know, I mean, really. You know, who are you, Facebook user?
That's William Russell. Gotta
That's
be.
William Russell.
Gotta
Okay.
be. Oh my God.
You know.
Let me shout out some campaigns real quick.
Oh,
we
okay,
grab
sure. Because
Isaac
we
in the
do
back.
have Isaac. Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the back room,
So remember, Daphne has Ego Raven issue 6 live. All these that I'm going to name right now are Kickstarter. I have a couple Indiegogos. I'll tell you when I switch over. Okay. So Ego Raven volume 6 is live on Kickstarter.
I wish it was volume 6.
Oh,
Issue 6.
What the fuck? Okay. So Nightwolf. Here we go. Issue 7 is
Right.
also live. Rob Multari's continuing Werewolf High School Drama Saga. Okay, The Legend of Sparkle Dog, Don't Say a Woo, from our very own Chad Perkins. Also, The Oswald Chronicles Volume 3, we were just passing through. That's our very own JD Calderon. Let's see, Human Hunters from Atrocity Press. I think it's issue 3 Max is on. William Russell has Psycho Sal issue 3. I believe Madeline Holly Rosing's Boston Metaphysical Society Mystery at Pikes Peaks is still live. Lori Calcatori has Path of the Pale Rider, and on Indiegogo, Mitch Rogers has The Boger, and Hojo has The Mythicals. And also, one more Kickstarter I forgot to mention: Matta Sorcier has Sacrimony Volume 1 coming up, launching, I believe, in the next week or so. So yeah, that's not even all of them. So head over to the Indie Comics Network promotions group. These will all be posted and many more in a little while.
Oh, so there you have it. So you're gonna throw a bump and bring him in.
I could do that. All right.
Right. Okay.
Wait.
So
So
that
our
way,
beautiful faces here.
there you go. So let me vacuum really quick, and then then we'll bring our guest Isaac Fox in. We'll be right.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10. I gotta outsource a voiceover. I cannot stand that voice.
It's your own voice, Nita.
I hate it.
Oh no. Hello, Isaac.
Isaac.
Welcome again to the show.
Hello. Thank
Hi.
you. Nice to be here.
And it's also nice that you were able to wake up early enough.
Well, I don't work nights anymore. So
Oh,
it's a
that's
little
good.
different.
That's good.
Still early than I'm normally getting up now, but I'm working on it. It takes a while it takes a lot longer to adjust to that when you get old.
Yeah. Look,
like,
I can barely get over daylight savings. So.
Yeah, like I normally get up around like 2 because I'm used to that. I'm used to being up until 8 o'clock in the morning at least.
Right.
And now it's like, oh yeah, you get a bit earlier now. My body's like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? You've been doing this for like 5 years. You sure you want to do this right now?
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But welcome to the show again. We've had you on, I think, like 2 times before. I think with your other. Was
Yeah,
I
think so.
I think so.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure it was 2 times. But welcome again.
This is my third, Daphne. You've only had him twice.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So why don't you please tell the peoples who you are?
Sure. My name is Isaac Fox. I am the lead writer and president of the Astral Ticket Comic Corporation. We are responsible for the most backed and most funded single-issue comics in the history of the largest continental city in the United States.
Well, that's certainly specific. But it's true though. I mean,
And a
it's
good
like
flex.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I just say continental because technically the city I'm in is the largest city in America if you don't count Alaska, because Alaska has like 3 or 4 cities that are just absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say biggest city in America solely
Right.
because of those Alaska cities.
Well,
but we're
that's
the biggest
true.
city in America in the main 48.
Right. There you go. But yes, but it's like, you have, so right now you have Mistress Izumi's I'm sorry, what was the name of the
Adult
book?
Lesson.
No, we have 2 books.
With 2.
coming out
See,
at the same
that's
time.
what it is. I'm confusing 2 books at once. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's a little different.
Yeah.
We have 2 of them coming out at the same time this time.
Mhm.
One of them is only 12 pages though, so it wouldn't be fair to put a Kickstarter into that for its own.
Oh, interesting.
own
Okay.
run. The other book is full length. Pure Intent
Uh-huh.
number 2 is a full length book. Mistress Izumi is 12 pages. That being said, that book is naughtier than a chicken wearing a tie. So we
Right. Oh, there.
have
Yes.
a few
Yes.
things going on for
There
that
we
one.
go. Yes, we do love the chickens wearing ties. All right. And right, and it's like, so it's on pre-launch right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is going to be, I mean, you've been running campaigns for a bit. Well, this is what? This is your 10th campaign?
I
I
think
think.
I've lost count. I have to
Oh,
look.
yeah.
It's you reach a point where everyone's like, "Oh, you do this and this." I'm like, "I guess."
Right.
Like,
It's like,
I
yeah, I
don't
think it's
know.
there somewhere.
I'll
I
get
don't
questions
remember.
about things in a campaign. I'm like, I have no.
Right.
Like my editors will ask me a question about this campaign, or
Right.
we're packing Sucky Busted number 2
Mhm.
right now, and I'll look at something, and our new shipping manager asked me, "What was this thing for?" I'm like,
Mhm.
I have no idea.
Oh my
Yeah, I might have to
goodness.
go back and read it because I don't have no memory of this. No
Oh
clue.
wow. I mean, with the, okay, but the thing is though, it's like, so with your first campaigns, you were doing a different type of book, Kremisi.
Mhm.
And now it just seems like you're kind of like switched over to more of like these other, like these more Ichi type books as opposed to
Not entirely.
Kremisi. That not entirely. Okay,
No,
so your
that's
Kremisi
part
is
of the
still
thing
on
for
the
this.
table too.
Well, Kremisi still exists. It's still coming
Mhm.
out. Issue number 5 will be the next book we put out this year. Second book on our schedule. Pure Intent takes place in the same universe as Kremisi,
Mhm.
and as our main cast is about 14 years old, there is no ecchi, there is no
Mhm.
nudity or sexual content in that book.
Mhm.
That is a dark book, a
Right.
very dark book. In fact, it's the only book I've ever had to tell the artist to cut a panel out of.
Oh, okay, because I got a little too dark.
Timing was bad.
Oh,
Hard to
okay.
explain that one, but
Okay.
it wouldn't have been good in the
Right.
timing.
Right.
But Mistress Izumi's Adult Lessons is co-written by Izumi herself. That book is
Mhm.
extremely raunchy within the limitations I place upon books, meaning that there cannot be any penetration, there can be no actual
Right.
acts of sex. We don't
Mhm.
make pornographic material. Not that I'm against that per se, but that
Right.
is a bit of a Pandora's box. Once you
Mhm.
open it, you cannot close it again. So
Right.
anytime anyone, maybe a professional company, were to look at myself, one of my artists, they're going to see that in the resume, and then eventually you get a big H stamp
Right.
on you for that's what you did.
Which is very strange. Now, here's the thing, though. As somebody else, as somebody who also does, the, I mean, because it's like, it's kind of weird. Okay, as having Kremisi and having the Ichi books, um, it's like, it's kind of like, does Kremisi get lost in that?
Not at all.
Right.
I haven't had that issue. Kremisi is the passion project. It's what I started with, and it's still very much an amazing book. The new one is
Right.
the first ever, since the issue 5 is, and
Mhm.
the second book I'll do this year. It is the end of the first arc. It is going to be a full color special. It is already colored. It looks absurd. I have to review the final pages today, actually. It looks amazing. The art, I have a new chief colorist named Creus. He has also done some work for Danger Zone 1, the Midnight production crew. That book looks fantastic, and I don't think it's too different from that stuff. That's part of the reason Azumi's been bugging me for a while. She wanted to do a book that was a bit more risque than what perhaps I normally
Right.
do. I allow naughty humor. That's
Right.
the point. Is a lot of the nudity we have is meant more for comedy as opposed
Right.
to blatant, well, about the better term,
Well,
fat material. It's
right.
not designed to be that. Though where there's a will, there's a way, I'm sure. But she wanted to do a book long enough, so I said, okay, well, we just did Sucky Busted number 2, which broke every record we had and became
Yeah.
the new #1 comic in America's biggest city. So let's go ahead and we want to make sure that people who like that book, who like the ecchi content, still had something they could come back for. So, well, Pure Intent's really kind of a dark story. It's the main cast are kids, so we don't really see any nudity.
Right.
There's not any sexuality. So why don't we just, if you want to write a book, well, we'll do a book. We'll do a small one. We'll add it on with this, and that way we can make sure that people who back Sucky Bust number 2
Right.
can return for that kind of content they enjoy. And the
Right.
people who are fans of the Kremisi universe, as Pure Intent takes place in the exact same universe as Kremisi, they can have what they want as well. So we try to give everybody their cake and let them eat it too.
Right. It's just that the cake doesn't go all the way.
No,
Right.
It's not the cream-filled kind, Daphne.
Right. Yeah.
Questionable at this point with
well.
as dark as naughty as I will allow things
Right.
to be.
Because it is a very strange line to not cross, because it's like, especially, just if someone were to superficially look at the like the books that you offer, they would think that you crossed that line already. And
right, which
yeah.
if you've actually opened any of the books, you'll understand. Like if you've ever seen, I've told my friends that do like the ecchi anime a lot. Okay, well, think of like you busted as like Monster Musume, where there's a lot of like, oh no, for some reason I fell over and my top came off for no reason.
Right.
That happens.
Right.
Whereas Mistress Izumi is more like interspecies reviewers, where it's just the same thing, but then we just kind of step it up a level. If you're familiar with those series, I know that
no, it's like I mean, it's like I'm still trying to catch up on certain manga and things. It's just there's just a lot out there.
There's a ton coming out now, and it's impossible to keep up with it all.
Yeah, it really is. So it's like, but the thing is, though, it's like your books always. I mean, I guess to date myself, it always seems to come off like it has like a Tenchi Muyo vibe, except a sexy Tenchi Muyo.
Oh, Tenchi Muyo is pretty sexy in itself, depending on which arc you're looking at.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit. We do a little bit of everything. We do prefer. I like the more serious, darker stories, but at the same time, I had someone recently ask me, "Do you feel like you chased the trend by going with the ecchi books?" Said,
no,
that's
a good point.
Not at all, because the thing is, I actually fluffing love ecchi. So no, I love to do this. I wanted to write books about succubi forever, and I could never figure out how to do it, and I finally did. Oh, I love this. This is great. And even recording on Mistress Izumi was fun because there were so many times I'm just laughing at seeing the panels come alive and what we're doing. I'm like, how is this going to be?
Right.
How can I even show this off? I don't know how to. I can't. I have to put a center bar over the entire page. What do you want me to do? What do I want to do with this? How do I show this? How do I market this?
It's like, well, that's kind of the reason why we created a show, House of Bob, where it is. So it's like, so maybe if you did want to show off more of that artwork, maybe we could talk later about getting you on House of Bob, which is an actual adult only show that we do, and then that way we can talk about. We can actually show off the artwork as it was meant to be, as opposed to like, we can only show the eyeballs.
Well, yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Right.
Let me see. I do have an image I can send you guys, right? Here you go.
Because that was the thing too, because it's like, even though, like I said, if people superficially looked at all your campaigns, it could look like you were chasing a trend. But the thing is, though, there is you can get a sense that you are having fun with this, as opposed to like these, there's some campaigns, it's like, oh yeah, they're chasing a trend and that's it. But with you, your books look like you really are having fun with them.
It's a blast. Are you kidding me? This is the greatest job in the world. It's also the longest hours I've ever worked in my life.
True.
I don't care. This is amazing.
Right.
I get to wake up one day. Sometimes I can work on stories that are serious dark space westerns. We have another one coming out next year. You can get previews of on this campaign coming up. That is a World War I high fantasy style story with an entire squad of babes. So I get to do that, which is great. And then I get to do things like Succubusted. And then we already have the final issue is being worked on now by the artists. And then we're talking about a spinoff and another arc and all these other things. Like this is awesome. We don't really chase anything. I haven't had that problem of chasing people's trends or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't do the meme covers and stuff. I've seen some other guys do, which no disrespect doing that. Makes you happy. I'm not going to judge somebody else's work. Not independents. Professionals, I feel like if you're DC, Marvel, professional manga, you have to be willing to take those critical punches to the face. Yeah. But as an indie, I don't feel like I have the right to say to other independents, and I won't. Right. But no, Pure Intent is part of the passion project of Kermesi. Mistress Izumi is a fun chance to play around with some stuff I wouldn't normally get to play with. And then even for Succubusted is one of my favorite books I've ever seen, because I can go through it, and I still go through it and laugh. Because my memory's terrible, and I work on so many things now. I think we have like 5 or 6 series in active production. So I will work on a script, and it probably won't get touched by the artist for like 6 months. And then when they finally get to it, that's what they're already working on. And I'll come back and see the page going, hey, that's really funny. I like that. Oh yeah, I wrote that. Okay. Right.
I mean, it's kind of a funny feeling to realize, like, oh, my favorite book is my own type of thing.
I wouldn't say it's my I struggle to say anything my own is my favorite
Yeah.
because then I feel like I'm being narcissistic.
It's true.
I'm
It's
like,
true. Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things where like you look at somebody else's work. I'll look at some work from some of the guys, the person who wrote Monster Musume, or I'll look at like anything written by Brian K. Vaughan or Paul Dini. And like, I am just such an idiot compared to these guys. I really need to work harder.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at a point in their lives, they were doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If not still doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah. And I don't think that feeling of I have to work harder never goes away. It just, raises in intensity. Now, the thing is, though, so from your first campaign to, because what I really like doing is like, see, especially with someone who's put out so many books as you, seeing like their first campaign and then their latest campaign. And it's like with this, almost like this huge jump that you've done since your first campaign. Like you've gone from like 80 something backers to now almost like 700 backers. And, and and it's like, it's really funny how it's like, as creators, we have a tendency to say, if I just have 90 backers, I'll be okay. But we never seem like we can think about, oh yeah, it'd be really nice to have 1,000 backers. But when it actually happens, it's like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. So what was the difference between starting with 80 and now all of a sudden finding yourself at 700 backers? How has everything changed with that?
This kind of coincides with something else that I get to do sometimes for panels and stuff, is tell people, don't look at me as an example, because I got so absurdly lucky that I started off making a passion project and just trying to be able to tell that story, regardless of how many backers or funds or whatever came along with it. Sorry, cat.
Right.
Idiot. So it's like, okay, but I got lucky that someone who I just so happened to live near a comic shop where I met somebody and became good friends with someone who knew and worked for some of the top comic book people on the planet. And that really pushed me from there once I started knowing those people and getting advice from people who were way bigger than myself, and then being featured by people who were bigger than myself. So I really just got lucky. And it's still, I always make the joke that I'm emotionally stunted, that it takes forever for anything to ever hit me. It's like I graduated college and I don't think I even realized I graduated college like a year later. I actually graduated. I did it. Oh God. And it still kind of feels that way for this. I'm like, okay, this still hasn't hit me like what it's done yet. Okay, we can do this. The real thing for me is that I don't look at a campaign that makes like Sick Busted #2 had 665 backers, one short of 666 for book about.
Yeah, I know. That would have been fun, right?
That would have been great. But it still worked out because the backer kit comes into play and we go past it anyways. So look at that. I'm like, that's really awesome. But my mindset doesn't really go to, oh, look at all this money, look at all these backers. My mindset goes, I can make more comics now.
Right.
Now I can make more books.
But really, it's like what I'm asking for is like the back end. Like it's one thing to sit down and package 80 books. How is it like how has it changed your system on the back end now that you have to package 600?
Well, he bought a warehouse.
The answer is yes, because that's why you can't see the room behind me. My office is a warehouse. There's so many boxes in my office now. It's amazing. It's daunting. It's terrifying. It's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like going to bed with somebody way out of your league. You're really excited for this, but you're like, I have got to make sure I do this right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is going to be really embarrassing. It's kind of the same thing with packing over 600 comics. The thing is, I really appreciate Kickstarter backers because they are the most amazing group of people on the planet. They are so calm and patient and understanding, because very rarely do I ever have somebody who thinks that I'm like Amazon level, where I can just a warehouse just pumping out comics. Like, guys do realize that this is 600 plus individually customized packages.
Yeah.
That is now being packed by 2 people.
Oh, so
that's all we have.
That's all you have. 2 people.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just me and one other person. Our new
Right.
shipping manager, Benedita, she and I just sit down and go through 600 plus packages. And there's a reason, like, we're faster than we've ever been. We are much faster, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm not complaining. This is an amazing problem to have, and I'm very grateful to have it.
Really.
It's like, sometimes it's like I have a bad back, and there's times I'm like, okay, I packed like 30 books today. I got to sit down for an hour because I cannot do this as much. But what's the old phrase? Suffer for your art, and that's what's happening. And I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
So it comes down to logistics, but I think like everything else, just an old adage is the more you sweat and train, the less you bleed in battle. Kickstarter and making comics is absolutely a battle, and you will bleed emotionally, mentally, and sometimes physically.
Right.
And that's been my experience with packing the books as well. It's like, well, we have a good system in place. I figured out how to go through it pretty fast, how to make everything pretty streamlined. I'm definitely not anywhere near Amazon level because that's
of
insane.
course.
But we do a pretty good job of what we do. And I very rarely, if ever, have anything get damaged. I mean, that's always going to happen. You have to expect that. When you pack 600 plus comics, I'd love to see the numbers from the guys who have like 2,000 or 3,000 backers.
Oh,
the big ones, and just know like what percentage of books arrive damaged that you have to replace. Like, how does it happen to you guys? Because every now and then, like no matter how much you wrap it and bubble wrap or whatever, somebody decides to spike that package to the ground like it's a game
that's
down to the Super Bowl.
That's my mail carrier. Fuck that cunt.
Yeah, I've had to. Yeah, I've packed things in boxes that her mail carrier actually tries to like fold the
Gemini mailers. She has taken Geminis and pressed them against the concrete on the blocks and bent them to where it would slide in the mailbox. I'm like, oh my god, I hate you so much.
Yeah,
I hate her.
She goes out of her way. That's for sure.
We don't ever cuss out your postal carrier because you do it one time, and they just
that's all it takes, and they start destroying your pack. That you're lucky she doesn't set them on fire.
I got lucky. My post guy's great, so he comes like he just picked up two full UPS boxes of comics today that went out this morning.
Yeah, that was that was something that I discovered on my last campaign that really was a game changer. Like, oh, I could actually schedule them to pick it up from me.
That's another one I got. Again, that's another thing I learned from the person who basically taught me how to do all of this, who worked for one of the world's top cover artists and sold stuff for him. Like, what? Like, why are you driving to the post office? Just tell them to come pick it up. Like, you can do that.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Isaac. While you guys are talking, is it okay if I pull up your preview page? Are you cool with?
That's why I sent to you. Please,
awesome.
Anything that we sent you over Facebook, please feel free to bring up.
Right.
The one image, if you want to show that one off, you can. The one I just sent you, it is censored enough where it should be okay.
Right. So this is where we're looking at is just the preview version. The campaign is not live yet.
No, but it's final. Nothing is going to change after this point.
Yeah, but
Kickstarter did hit me with the okie doke last night.
Oh.
So I went on last night about 1 a.m. to make some edits of something. On the right there, you see how those preview images now for your tiers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't flip and know that existed now.
Oh,
that came out very recently. Yeah, I was
It had to have been because I made this campaign a month ago.
Like last month.
Because I think it came out like Wednesday, because I launched on Friday and I was like scrambling to put images in.
Yeah, that was my last night. Like, I have a show tomorrow morning. I need to get these up now. So let's go ahead and just figure out how this is going to work.
Right. Now the thing is though, if it's one thing about your campaign though, it like you really do work with a lot of absolutely amazing artists. I mean, it's like I'm following. It's like I'm following one of your artists on Twitter. I forgot her name, but and it's just like just really amazing stuff. And the thing is,
I can make you mad again too.
Oh, of course.
Because I went back last night and watched our last interview we did because I do that because I'm a paranoid, insane person. Like, okay, how did I do this? And I did terrible last time. I'm sorry for that. I did terrible.
You got another cute, sexy robots cover, didn't you?
Yes, I do. I have him on a new series coming out that's announced on this campaign. Because it helps to know people. The most powerful, this world has two very valuable currencies, and money actually isn't the first one. Respect is the most valuable currency.
It really is.
If you can get somebody's respect and respect them back, you have a lot of options.
Yeah,
that's truth for you. All of our books are printed in the USA. We don't print anywhere else for our comics.
This is the part that I love.
Right.
Yeah, we don't. I heard you guys talking about that. We don't do the bot thing here. That's not permitted.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the thing is, it's yeah, it's like you said, it's like we were talking about that before, that respect is actually your strongest currency, and you don't get to work with this many artists over and over and over again without having that currency, without having that respect. Can you kind of like just, I don't know, like so
Not of
how
this
do you
caliber and
manage-
quality,
yeah,
anyway.
how do you manage this many artists and keep them loving you at the same time?
Well, I just send them drugs.
Right.
No,
Oh,
Pays them, Daphne.
the artists I have this thing where I don't really care as much about myself or personal glory. I care about them. I want to make sure they're taken care of and they've got what they need. There are artists, one of the artists I worked before, she's been sick. I check up on her every day. She doesn't work with me now, but I still check up
Right.
on her every day. How you feeling today? What do you need? You
Mhm.
okay? You have food? You have water? What's
Right.
up? I still do that to all the artists I have. I take care of them. I treat them like gods, and I give them pretty much anything they want. Several of them don't request copies. If they worked on the book, I still send them to them, and I eat all of those costs myself. I'm like, well, look, you did this. You deserve to have a handful of
Right,
these.
yeah,
So you can do what
yeah.
you want to do with.
Right.
And it's going back to the AI thing. Has made finding artists. It's changed the game on that entirely. I can no longer use my original methods for hunting down artists and finding new people, in part because DeviantArt and ArtStation are now nothing but bots and AI
Right,
art.
yeah.
It's completely inundated with it.
Disgusting.
You can't use it anymore. They're completely worthless as tools now. And from what I understand, most artists are abandoning those tools because of that.
I mean, yeah, I completely abandoned my well, I didn't completely abandon, I just use it for advertising now, but yeah, I don't have any, like, I don't have a gallery on DeviantArt anymore ever since they
Tactical
did.
booze.
We don't use it anymore
Yeah.
either. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, this is not going to work
That's
for
a
us.
great cover. I really
It
like
is.
that
I
cover.
love it.
That cover is in part, if you go back up to it, that cover is in part every book this year will have a tactical cover of one of our mascots to celebrate the Manticore coming in hopefully next year. The Manticore is a new series I have worked on. We are very excited for it. It is an ecchi World War I high fantasy style story following an entire squad of babes as they take on missions to win the war. That being said, they're supposed to be this like elite team. No, they're really not. None of them they're barely even qualified for military duty, let alone what they're doing. That series is meant to be silly and fun and sexy. It's not going to be a lot of. It's not going to be a Call of Duty-esque like super military story. I think it's part of the fun. The fun of that one is that our main cast is not very good at military things. But those book covers come with previews of that book. You can preview the first chapter of that book, which that book's we're calling it chapters because each of the main characters is getting their own introduction. Issue 0. You can get the first chapter on this campaign with several reward tiers, or as an add-on for $4, and you get, I think it's like 4 or 6 pages of the first book. They're uncolored right now. The artist on that is Aldi Fazan, who, here's a fun thing, he used to work on some League of Legends stuff. I can't say what. And in that book, in the second chapter of that book, we have an appearance by one of the gentlemen who is one of the main voice actors for that game. He's physically in the book. He's a friend of mine, and he's great. This gentleman named Eric Braw. He is fantastic. He's a great dude. He's a giant Viking, and he's going to look like it in the book. It'll be awesome.
It sounds it. But like I said, it's like just going through this campaign, it's like a lot of top tier artists. I mean, it's like if you love, I mean, it's like you literally had one of the original artists who designed friggin' Pikachu.
Yeah. Matsuhiro Arita. I have I don't know if I have it up here or not. Right. I have a trading card from him. No, I don't have it up here. I have a trading card from him. He's the guy who did the original Pokemon trading cards, including the most famous Charizard. I've had some very amazing people. I've had Alan Qua, who works for Marvel now. Lyrics has come back with us again. Lyrics is, in my opinion, one of the. She is definitely one of the top 3, in my opinion, on the planet for covers. She's hard to beat out. It's hard to remember who I have. We have a lot of artists now, like SRX Nico. You're going to see some of his stuff. Who these people are mostly hentai artists, but I don't have them drawing hentai. But if they know how to draw that, then they know how to draw nice pinups and sexy ladies.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of them on the staff. It's hard to keep track. It's hard to keep track of who's who because there's so many. Well, if I look at it, I know who it is. But
Right.
the list of people I work with now is easily approaching over like 50 plus artists.
Wow.
But I only work with a handful per campaign. So, okay,
Mhm.
certain people are part of the in-house team. Actually, they're part of our internal team. So you're going to see them on every campaign. You'll see Aldi Fazan. He's the lead artist now for Manticore and does some of our covers. Mitsu Blinger, lead artist for Psyche Busted. She's on every campaign. Her Benny campaign on this one is amazing, and it is something really special this time because you see that little brown symbol right there in those graphics.
Right. Mhm.
So this campaign, because Benny is one of our she's mascot for Mitsu Blinger, who's one of our lead artists. So Year of the Bunny is this year. It's Year of the Rabbit.
Right.
So to celebrate that, not only is Benny going to be getting a lot of really sexy covers, we are having a rabbit sale this campaign.
Which explains the rabbit I keep seeing.
Certain tiers are going to be marked down cheaper than they will ever be ever again, including things that are brand new.
Right.
So if you want to save some money, this is the time to do it because now I'm going to have things marked down cheaper than what they normally would be as a result.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and also, I guess, judging from the campaign, I guess like all your previous books are also available on this campaign too.
Most, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We have certain ones that come out of the vault at certain times. There is a schedule that's all pre-set up beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It's all everything I do scheduled out. The next 2 years are already scheduled, and everything beyond that is semi-scheduled. So we make sure we want to make sure we're prepared for almost anything I can throw at us. Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, if someone is like seeing this campaign for the first time, they can actually catch up with the circle. Like you said, this is Pure Intent #2, so I'm assuming #1 is available.
It is. It's down there in the add-ons. You can get Pure Intent #1 with 1 or 2. I don't know if Cute Sexy Robots just covers on this one or not. Now, see, I told you, it's too much for me to remember.
Right.
I don't know.
But
you
also,
asked me, what's this campaign? I have no idea.
Right. But also the thing is that, like with certain variant covers, I know that one was an incredibly popular variant cover on one of your previous campaigns. Like I wouldn't expect that cover to be available.
Sometimes it depends.
Okay.
There are some behind the scenes deals. I get the message every Kickstarter. Can I get this cover in digital?
Right.
No, because I have signed a deal with somebody saying I can't do that. And I can't tell you who, I can't say why, because you can't talk about those kind of things.
Right. No, of course.
That's not professional at all.
Right.
But I can bring out the vault what I can bring out at certain times. In this case, for Pure Intent #1, I've got the A cover, Bill McKay's nice cover, the Naughty Mascots by Mitsu Blinger, and then Izumi has her naughty cover on that because
of course, it's Izumi.
Her adolescents are here, so
course.
we're gonna have a few more covers of her lying around.
Yeah,
we have even more of her coming.
I mean, really, but the thing is, though, if you're somebody who really enjoys collecting variant covers, they're gonna have a hard time on this.
Yes,
well, that's why we do tiers that. If people go through our tiers and you look at the combination tiers, buying them in combination is cheaper than if you bought them individually. And we do that because our aim is not to break anybody's wallet. We're not trying to do that. I try to make things as affordable as I can. Even for shipping, I charge just basically at what I'm paying for shipping. We don't try to nickel and dime anybody. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not EA. We're not going to try to screw you over. I'm going to charge you. Like, this is what I have to charge. Let's go from there.
Yeah,
but we also make sure you.
I really do love that ballistic raccoon piece.
Tactical, Daphne.
Yeah, it's tactical. Yes, it's tactical raccoon.
Yeah, that's Brooks, our company mascot, because we're a combination. We use a combination of Eastern and Western ideologies and methods in our comics. Some people have gotten mad at me for not calling my work manga, but my friends in Tokyo who are actually working in those industries have told me do not dare call it manga. So we don't do that. It's comics with anime or manga inspiration.
It's really funny how it's like, especially lately, I keep seeing like this argument going back and forth. Like people, like there are people who call themselves American mangaka making English, like English language manga, and then people get mad that they're calling their stuff manga, and then people are looking at you going, you have to call yourself manga, and you're like, well, no, I don't have to.
I took advice of people
very
who
schizophrenic.
Work from it.
Right. I mean, it's like, and also it's like, if it's like you're still technically making it in the American format, so
it's still standard, right from left. It still reads like anything else, or left to right. It still reads like anything else we do here. It's just we use a little bit of that art inspiration, a little more from the Eastern style.
Right.
Because I personally like that more. That being said, I don't
That's
want to
what
see
we
manga.
grew up with: Naruto, Avatar. That those kind of cartoons are.
I was already an adult by the time those shows came
Okay, bro.
I didn't grow up with that. No, the first anime I ever got to see,
she kicked herself out. She had to go hide.
the first anime I ever got to see was Vampire Hunter D.
Wow.
Which was amazing because within like 10 minutes I got to see a guy's head explode and a boob. And as a
Right.
14-year-old guy, you're like,
Right.
this is amazing. What do I
Right.
find out of this? But we also, that's about the time where Toonami kind of kicked off and brought over Dragon Ball Z and Gundam
Right.
Wing, Trigun, Bebop,
Right.
Outlaw Star. And we went from seeing cartoons that were that Saturday morning villain of the week kind of format where there's not really an
Right.
overarching story. It's, hey, kids, like this, and then buy the toy.
Right.
To stories that had actual character development and plot development, and things changed over time.
Right.
Like Dragon Ball Z was a great example of this, whereas I understand the argument that Goku's an idiot, whatever, but those characters got way different as time went on and things evolved and continued. It was an escalation of scale for sure, but it was great. I was like, I want to do things like that. And that's kind of where a lot of our comics come from, is that 90s era of Toonami inspiration.
Right. Now, I mean, it's like, I'm so old that we were literally renting our VHSs from a Japanese video store that only catered to the Japanese audience. So nothing was in English. So we would literally be and there were no pictures on anything. So we were randomly just renting VHSs, and whatever cartoon was on there, that's what we were watching. And it wasn't even in English or anything.
Yeah.
That's just how it was back then.
Maybe
I
I
can
was
remember.
grown, Vess. I was entertaining my inner child. Okay, man, you guys. Fuck
And we're
yourselves.
we're old.
I have no
Yeah.
concept of time.
Well, I mean, you
There
mentioned
you
Tenchi, and that's
Yeah.
when Tenchi came out. That was again 90s era,
Right. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
early 2000s. I forget, but
I think it was like
close to
late
it.
90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was already been around for a while. With it's been an amazing transition, and I still argue that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the Marvel films anymore, but
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they
Right.
definitely did a thing where they kind of popularized and made geek culture way more acceptable than it is now. Whereas growing up back in the 90s and 2000s when anime was just starting to creep, where we started getting a feel
Right.
for that, you couldn't really talk about anime, or people would
Uh-uh.
get mad at you. It was all viewed as either
Shoved
full
in
you
lockers.
were a loser for liking it. And now I know people who are in the military who are telling me that the anime DVDs are currency on base.
Oh, that's funny.
At camp, and you trade those around to get things.
That's funny.
Oh, so yeah, things change now. Now being
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
geek is like accepted. Like now there's
Yeah.
like professional wrestlers who have their shtick as their anime fans or whatever.
Right.
That's a whole
Yeah.
thing now. It's
Exactly,
changed
yeah.
so much since I was a kid, and for the better for sure. That's
Well,
a
that's
good thing to
true.
say.
Yeah, that's true. So, so Mistress Izumi's, I keep
Pure
saying
Intent issue
Pure
2
Intent,
and
and
Mistress
oh
Izumi's
my
adult
God,
lessons.
I need to write everything down. That's the thing. It's like I keep confusing the two titles. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
That's-
It's I've never done one quite like this before, so it's gonna be a
Right.
little different.
yes.
But Mistress Izumi is a really fun book. It's got
Yeah.
a lot going on with it. And Pure Intent number 2 is the darkest book that I've ever done so far.
Right.
And it's also looks amazing. The story is like it's one of those weird things where Pure Intent number 3 is already being worked on. So I'm used to that script in my head, and I haven't seen the second script in a
Right.
year. So I go back, I'm looking at the pages of printing, like, this is pretty good. Yeah, this book's pretty good. I like this. I did write this, didn't I?
Right.
Okay. I forgot. I catch myself sitting there looking through
Right.
the digital pages, wanting to turn the page.
Right.
What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? And people look at me like, didn't you write this? Like,
Right.
yeah,
It's
like a year ago. I
right.
have no
It's-
idea what happens now.
Look, there's a
My
lot
memory's not
going
that
on.
good.
We have a
There's
lot
just too many going on.
Yeah.
There's so much
you
that we have.
Yeah.
There's so many things we have going on now for books and how many
Yeah.
different series we have running. And we put out, my goal is 3 books a year. You may see 4 next year, maybe this year. I don't know. Technically,
Right.
the next Foxy Vacations is ready. I just
Oh.
don't have the space to put it out yet. I need to wait.
Exactly. You got to wait until those 600 packages are out.
Well, yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. So, everything is, links are in the show notes below. Right now, it's on pre-launch. What we showed you was a sneak peek of what the campaign is going to look like when it goes live. But it is on pre-launch right now. So make sure you sign up so that you all get notified whenever when you just, do you have a date for it to go live? Or
absolutely. Oh, everything is everything I do is scheduled down to the second, and then there's a plan, and then there's a backup plan for that plan, and there's a backup to the backup plan.
Okay, so but you know what? Everybody sign up for the launch page anyway. You'll get notified the second it goes live.
It will launch April 4th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We go live on Twitch at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be streaming with a couple of crew members and some friends of the project to do the pre-launch stuff and kind of an AMA, ask us whatever you want to do. We'll also be having our guest, Lily Fox or Zurcella. She'll be joining us. She did some pixel art for us. On the same campaign, I want to point out that this campaign is dedicated to the memory of Kitsune Windsor. I don't know if you guys ever spoke to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that was a big one. She and I were very close. She was great. If I can put how close she and I were, she is the only person on this planet I've ever given permission to put one of my characters in her stories, and it was Alice, which is beside me. Which is a very dear character to me. I have two of her characters she gave me permission to do as I want, so they're going to show up in Manticore as side characters to keep her memory alive and her stories alive.
Yeah,
life was not fair to that person at all, and it often isn't. To quote more anime, reality's cruel and strikes without warning, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that this campaign is dedicated to her. I can't even talk about it. It still hurts. I'm terrible with emotional stuff. I cry during every Disney movie. I'm terrible.
Right.
I can't do these things. But we dedicated it to her. This is also a chance. This is also the debut of Benedita. She is the buff bunny girl and Benny's older half sister. She's also a shipping manager now. She's helping me out. So it's nice to have somebody who's physically like a monstrosity. She's going to kill me for saying that. Just to do all this work. We have Year of the Rabbit sales on this campaign, and we also have previews to what is going to hopefully become our new flagship series, the Manticore, which is going to hopefully be kind of like my version of Lady Death, where I can have just so many fun stories with this squad of characters and what they get into. So this campaign is really an unveiling of a ton of new things.
So you'll be April 4th, everybody will be able to find out all about these books. And I'm gonna have to find your Twitch channel so I can subscribe. So
I can send that to you right quick.
Yeah. So we'll put that in the show notes as well, so everybody can join you on Twitch for your launch party. So outside of Kickstarter, is there any place else where everyone can find you?
Yes, there are several places. We have almost everything within reason. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our website. Our website is foxycomics.com with 2 X's. We're actually having a sale right now, 30% off all Pure Intent issue number 1 books while supplies last. That will end, I want to say Monday we end that sale. I have to look. Once again, I don't know. I have everything written down. I have to look at schedules. I don't know. Everything's on a schedule somewhere. I'll look at it when I get a chance. That is going on. Then we also have, you can find us on social media. Usually it's going to be, we just changed it actually because we just made, this is my full-time job now. So I just made new business cards for it. So I had to make everything kind of like uniform. Like we need to change some names really quick. AT Foxy Comics with 2 X's. That's us across all social media platforms. Instagram, Twitch. Twitch is #Fox. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's it.
Right. Well, we'll put links to everything in the show notes so that everyone can find you. Okay, there you go.
Thank you very much.
So Nita, do you have any final thoughts other than putting everything in the show notes?
Tune in tonight later than usual. Rodney Fike will be doing Fike It. Let's Draw. I believe Tina scheduled it for 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure. But also, Chad Perkins doesn't know this, but he has a hot date tonight. I'm going to come on with him. We're going to do a live stream. I don't know what we're going to call it, but it'll be in the usual 8:30 p.m. slot. So yeah, join us tonight.
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those days.
It is. It's going to be one of those days.
And if Where am I? Yes. So I wanted to thank everybody in the chat for sticking out with us and enjoying the show. And yes, and I see you, the 10 people next to my giant eyeball. Thank you so much. I know we're a little over, but we're having a good time. So you know how it happens. Time flies when you're having fun, and also everything gets difficult to keep a track of. So thank you so much for joining us. And yes, I want to thank everybody on this Monday morning. I want to thank Isaac Fox again for coming on the show, and say hello to Izumi for us, because she was saying that she wanted to make sure that you got on the show today. So
yeah, she was harassing me. She and Brooke handle pretty much all public or media relations. It's a kind of it's a running joke now. It's like people are like, "Where's Isaac?" No one talks to Isaac.
Right.
You can't talk to him.
Yeah.
And in reality, I didn't want to be on a camera or anything ever. I wanted to be just Oz and behind a curtain the whole time. But nobody ever saw me or knew I existed. But you can't really do that in this industry. So
yeah, not nowadays, especially when everything is so visual and online, and people want to put a face to the work.
It's a hard thing for me to understand, because like even for the people I talk to that do are actual Twitch streamers have told me, like, if they join to a Twitch channel and there's no face cam, they'll just leave.
Right.
Is it that important to see the guy playing the game? Yes. Okay.
Right.
I never would have known that. That doesn't make sense to me, but
there it is. Yeah.
I'm old now, so maybe I'm just crazy. Let's go.
There we go. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything else, all my campaigns and whatnot, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress and live updates of everything that's going on. And remember that you can check out all my videos here on YouTube through my channel, Daphne Lage Art, that's Lage, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So also make sure you follow, you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out my Wednesday stream, live stream from 4 to 6 p.m. Definitely going to have it again this week. And for everybody to know before I definitely forget, because everything is flying out of my brain right now. On Friday, we are not doing a show. I got things to do. So we're going to take Friday off. So if you don't catch me on the Wednesday show, we will see everybody again next Monday. So thank you again, everybody, for showing up. And and on that note, everybody have a great Monday. Enjoy your day. I hope it's as beautiful as it is right now on my end. Yeah. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake your accomplishments and make fake ass AI pictures of you painting an AI piece that you never even painted. But don't do that. Don't do that. That is such a bad look. It's not even funny. So
we're on the same page.
So
they fed people's art to it is disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
They're being sued, and they should be.
Exactly. No, for real.
But at least the good thing there is that they've ruled that anything made by an AI can't be copywritten. So if you make an AI piece, like an AI book or whatever, we can all just steal it. You can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
And that should happen to you.
Exactly. So so to the AI minds, to all you sucky AI people, and we'll see you guys later.
And pay your fucking artists.
That too.